Hi friends, and welcome to day 3 of dividing. Today we're going to be doing pages 301 and 302 together, and then on your own you'll be doing page 304. So we're going to jump right in. Today we're going to be focusing on estimation and area models with dividing today. So let's see what we're working with today. There are 232 people waiting in line for an amusement park ride. Each car on the ride will be filled. So each car is filled with 5 people. How many cars are needed to hold all the people waiting in line? So all I did there, friends, is underline or highlighted all the important information. So there are 232 people. And then each car has 5 people, okay? So we're going to have 232 divided by 5 because each car gets 5 people. So we need to figure out how many cars are needed to hold all the people waiting in line, okay? So, first things first, we're going to divide our paper in half. Are we shocked at this point? We shouldn't be. Okay, so strategy number 1, we're going to just do what we do, right? We're going to draw a picture, or we're going to see if we have any remainders, okay? So if we have 232 divided by 5, that means we can make this 232 into a 200 to make it easier. So one way we can do it is to say that 232 is equal to 200 plus 32. Makes sense, right? 200 plus 32, 232. Now, 200 divided by 5 is way easier to work with. So 200 divided by 5 is equal to 40. So all we did was divided this 200 by 5, and then we're going to do the same thing with the 32. So we did 200 divided by 5 is equal to 40. And then 32 divided by 5. Well, we know 32 isn't going to be completely divisible by 5, because if it's divisible by 5, it's going to end in a 0 or 5, because counting by 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, that one's place is always a 0 or a 5. So we know we're going to have some left over. But we also know that 5 times 6 gives us 30, so we're going to have 6, but then we have this 2 left over, so we're going to have 6 remainder 2. And then from there, we can say that 232 divided by 5 is equal to 40 plus 6, so 46 remainder 2. So that means 46 cars will be filled, but there will be 2 out of the 232 people waiting in line left over. So that means for this one, we can't just end it there. We're going to have to round up, because we can't just have 2 people in line not be able to ride the ride. So 46 plus 1 more car to get them on. Obviously, that car won't be filled with 5 people, but it'll be 2 people on it. So that means that they're going to need 47 cars, okay? So 47 cars are needed for this amusement park ride. Now, that's using our strategy of making 10s, right? So now, strategy number 2 is using our area model. Are we surprised? It's on the top of our paper, so we shouldn't be at this point, right? So, strategy number 2 with the area model. Our side is going to have our 5, and I'm going to give us some room to pull out groups of a number, okay? So, I know off the top of my head that we're going to need 40, well, not off the top of my head, we just did it, right? So, 47 can be broken up into 20s, right? Or I can pull out 20s out of 232. So, I'm going to pull out a 20. And then we're going to do 20 times 5, which is 100. So we're going to do 232 minus 100, which gives us 132. Now, we could pull out another 100, meaning we can do another group of 20. So we can do 20 times 5 is equal to 100, but now we're going to do 132 minus 100. So that leaves us with 32. So we cannot pull out another group of 20. We do not need 100 anymore. But we have to do something that's close to 32. So 5 times something, which gives us close to 32, would be 6. 5 times 6 is 30. So 32 minus 30 has a leftover of 2. So that means we could say 46 cars with 2 left over. So we need 47 cars. Because remember, we can't just have those 2 leftover riders just not ride. So we're going to need that extra car. So we're going to need 47 cars. And as you can see, friends, we get the same answer. Now, for using the area model, you don't always need the answer to help you. Obviously, it makes it a lot easier because you know what you can pull out. But you can also just think of facts times 5. That'll get you close to 232. And we'll talk more about that next time. So if you don't have any questions, we can move on to page 302. Just make sure you pause this if you need to jot this in. And then, as always, 302 just kind of walks us through it. So you can use the relationship between multiplication and division to estimate the quotient in a division problem with a 1-digit divisor. So what we did, we knew it had to be with a 5 or a 0, right? And then we just kind of counted on to help us with this one and this one, right? So we kind of just made what we knew about the 5s table, So for the number of cars, 10 would be 50, 20 would be 100, 30 would be 150, 40 would be 200, right? And that's kind of close. And then 50 would be 250. So we would know that it had to be in between these two, okay? Because the dividend 232 is between these two numbers of people. So we knew our answer had to be between 40 and 50. Now, just like we did on page 301, you could use an area model, and the estimate shows the quotient is between 40 and 50. So we could begin the area model by multiplying 40 by 5. So doing this kind of eliminates one of these steps. Instead of doing 2 groups of 20, what it did is it made it a group of 40. So it would be 40 times 5, which we know 5 times 4 is 20. Add a 0 is 200. So it just combined these two because we had 100 and 100. If we did 40, it would be 200. So it's just combining based on our estimation. So that's another strategy you could do as well. And as always, it's whatever makes the most sense to you. So, and this is just a multiplication to check it out. So 5 times 46 is 5 times 40 plus 5 times 6. 20 plus 30 is equal to 230. And then we have this remainder of 2. So we need to make sure we go and add that into our number. And we get the 232 that we started with. So we know we're good. So friends, if you have any questions at all, please ask them now. If not, you can move on to page 304 on your own. Just make sure you are showing me either here on the Meet or on Seesaw when you are done. Happy dividing!